Hello everyone. We are going to look at naming molecular compounds. This is straightforward for the simple ones. It can get fairly complicated for organic things. We're going to keep it simple. So imagine that we have the compound CO2. Now we can come up with the Lewis structure for that, but we want to actually name it. If it was ionic, we would call it carbon oxide, but it's not. It's two different nonmetals bonded together. And it is actually a molecule, which means it's not a crystal structure. This molecular formula actually shows me the exact number of atoms in it. It really is, like I said, the Lewis structure, a carbon atom bonded to two oxygen atoms. And so this is the unit. It contains 3 total atoms. Carbon dioxide is a bunch of these molecules floating around, bumping into and off of each other. That's a carbon dioxide molecule. And so we actually want to name a molecule and indicate how many things are in it. So the name of this, carbon dioxide, does that. The di refers to the number of oxygen atoms in the molecule. There is no prefix on the carbon because there's only one of them. And when there's only a single of the first element, we don't use a prefix. Otherwise, it does. So we'll look at, say, something like CH4, which is carbon tetrahydride. Or we could look at C2H6, which is dicarbon hexahydride. These also have other names if you use organic naming rules. Now, this thing and this thing both have carbon and hydrogen in them, but we would not ever reduce the C2H6 to CH3 because it's not the same thing. C2H6 actually refers to a molecule that has 2 carbon atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms, like that. We would not want to reduce that like an ionic compound because we can't reduce that molecule. It really is that chain. It has that many atoms in it. So the name of these molecules actually tells us the chemical formula or how many atoms of each element are in the compound. So when we use molecular compounds, we use prefixes to actually denote the number of atoms. This is not the same thing as the Roman numerals in an ionic compound, because the Roman numerals in an ionic compound just tell the charge of the cation. These prefixes are used to tell the number of atoms of each element in the molecule.